Everyone, Zeddy here again, today with a brand new video, and all the Demon Hunter and Druid cards have been revealed. Are they broken? Are they going to break the game? Probably not, but we'll talk about them. And as well, there are 2 classes left to go over today. All the mini set cards will be revealed. If you're wondering where the Mage and Shaman cards are, that's the next review. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. And if you want to win any of these cards golden, we're giving away 4 golden mini sets out of my pocket. All you have to do is like and comment on the video in the description below. Subscribe to the channel on our road to 60K. Every 1,000 subs we've been doing another giveaway. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. So Demon Hunter getting a new archetype, kind of, right? Like, they have everything in the game. Like, Demon Hunter's class identity is that they do everything, and well, now they have mass resurrection effects. We have big demon hunter with resurrect effects, with all fell breaks loose, 5-minute spell, summon a friendly demon that died this game, infuse. You have to, if you infuse it, so 3 demons die, you summon 3 instead. So the idea is you're holding this, you have 3 demons die on the board, and then you bring them all back. And is that a good effect? Well, historically, resurrecting stuff is only worth it if you can bring back big stuff. And if you take a look at the standard pool of demon cards, there's just not a lot you want to bring back. The only thing I really can think of is, well, you have Illidari Inquisitor. This is like the card to bring back, has rush, can go face if your hero attacks face, and bringing back 2 of these would be like 16 damage. Or if you play the spell twice, that's 4 of them, because you can't really copy it up unless you like faceless it or something, or in wild like philosophy. And you also have like Taint Heart Tormentor, so you do have demons as well as Urzul Giant. The problem is, to infuse this, you really need to have demons die, and these are very slow. It's a very slow strategy. And even if we take a look at wild, at the demon pool isn't much better. The only one you would really want to pull, probably outside of these, is maybe like an Ancient Void Hound. It's a pretty big boy, pretty cool guy to bring back. The Pit Commander, which can cheat out other demons. This is probably one of the better ones because it really gets the infuse going. And then neutral, you have Moarg Forge Fiend, which is like the 8/8 taunt that has Death Rattle, gain armor. But overall, it just seems really slow. The infuse requirement is really tough. Like, you can't play small demons to infuse this. You really need to play those big demons, so you really need to have this in hand while it's going on. You could cheat them out with cards like Sigil of Reckoning, I believe it's called. It's the Demon Sigil, 5 mana, but Big Demon Hunter has not worked at all. It's not been a remotely playable archetype, and this card does improve it, but it's such a slow payoff, and it gets punished by like transform effects and all that stuff. I just think it's unplayable. I think this is a great Mark card. Mark is going to have a great time with this in WoW, bringing back, you know, Inquisitors and doing crazy OTKs, and you got Vargoth and all sorts of shenanigans. You can't discount this with Fellgorger and recast it with Jace, but overall, I just think it's an unplayable meme card. I don't see the big demon hunter thing being a thing right now. I just don't. This card doesn't put it over the top for me. I'm gonna give it a 1 in Standard Wild. I think it's unplayable at the current time, just because you have to get those big demons out. They have to die. This has to be in your hand. Then it has to be when you play this, it's got to be game winning. And then maybe you're jacing it if you're super greedy. And even it's when you have to go through hoops like that to make something work, it's probably not going to work. So maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe this will show up on how was I so wrong about these cards, but I just don't think it is a good card. However, this card I do think is a good card. The other Demon Hunter card revealed, Sightless Magistrate, 4 mana 5/4, common minion, battle cry. Both players draw until they have 5 cards. So if you have an empty hand, you draw 5 cards. If your opponent has an empty hand, they draw until they have 5 cards. It's a double-sided effect. No outcasts on this or anything. It just goes into that aggro Demon Hunter, and it's redundancy for that deck. You have that 3 mana weapon, you have the 4 mana legendary that can fill your hand, as long as, well, it actually dumps your hand, then fills your hand. It's a good card in that deck and only that deck. It doesn't go into any other Demon Hunter strategy. It's purely all in aggro DH, which is a decent deck, and this will make it better. This for sure will make it better. It's interesting in like the mirror match because like you're not going to really want to play it because you're going to give your opponent a full hand to play and dump their cards and all of that. And it's bad against other aggro based decks like a Face Hunter or like a aggro token Druid. They typically have empty hands, but every other deck in the game, pretty much you're free to play this and they're not going to draw more than a couple cards. So I think on average this card's really good in aggro Demon Hunter. I just don't know how much it elevates that deck. It makes it better and it's a relatively competitive deck. I'm going to give this a 4 to 5 in standard because I just think it's that good in that deck, and it's also going to trigger me because I can't stand these cards that like reward you for vomiting your hand and give you cheap card draw. Reminds me of Divine Favor to an extent, right? But it's not quite that brutal. Divine Favor, I still have PTSD to that card. I still can't believe that card was a thing. But yeah, Sightless Magistrate I think is a good aggro Demon Hunter card, but again, not very flexible in what it can go into. And in Wild, that strategy hasn't really been a thing. I've seen it a tiny bit. It's not competitive. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in Wild. I don't think this elevates that stuff at all. What's popular in Wild is like Disruption DH or like Odd Demon Hunter, which obviously this can't go into as it's not an odd cost card. So those are the Demon Hunter cards. One really good one I think really flavorful one, but I don't think it's gonna make the cut. Let's take a look at the Druid cards. We already saw Due Process, so we know about that one, but we have Attorney at Maw. This is the first ever card ever to have this effect, where it has 2 mana 1/3. You choose one, you either silence a minion, which Ironbeak Owl, hello, what? That thing was from 2 to 3 mana. And then we got this power creep. And on top of that, or give a minion immune this turn, which can be potentially game breaking if you got the right thing to give immune. However, if you're talking about Druid, they don't have a lot of stuff that's game breaking to give immune. I think of like Oracle of Elune. That card would be annoying to give immune, where how do you, if you can't remove an Oracle of Elune, it's just going to copy stuff up. That's really good. I mean, in Wild, give Ixlid immune and then summon a bunch of broken stuff. I feel like this card's gonna see play. I mean, the silence a minion at 2, we know that's good. We've seen that before, and giving immune could possibly be pretty busted. It's only this turn though. It is not a permanent effect, so you have it for that one turn. Is that big a payoff? I don't know, but I'm gonna give this a 4 just for its flexibility. It could silence, it could give immune, it could do. There's something here to make this card really freaking annoying, and maybe even like I feel like Oracle of Elune, like aggro strategy. I don't know. It's kind of scary to me. I'm gonna give it 4 in standard. I'll give it a 3 in Wild because maybe it fits into like, maybe play it in like your Reno Druid, or maybe it fits into like the aggro Druid there. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna give this 1 a 4. It really kind of scares the crap out of me. And lastly, we have Incarceration, 3 mana Druid spell. They got hard removal, kind of. This is kind of hard removal for Druid. It's the closest they've gotten since like Mulch, I believe. I think that's the last hard removal card they got. 3 mana, choose a minion. It goes dormant for 3 turns. Remember Maev? I gave that 5 stars because it would make a minion go dormant for 2 turns. That card was unplayable. This makes a minion go dormant for 3 turns. You can do it on your own. You want to set something up, you want to play it with Dustfall and Aviana in Wild, and then pop off in 3 turns. Broken, right? It's an interesting effect. I don't think this is playable. I think this is a created by spell off that 1 mana spell that you could find another one. Maybe you go for that. If you have 2 mana silence, which it's kind of funny they're getting this the same time as a 2 mana silence, wouldn't you rather just silence this? Or if you need to get through a taunt, if you give them like you give a taunt minion immune, you can go through a taunt. That works, right? As well as silencing it. I'm just being clever here. But yes, Incarceration. Druid does struggle really hard with hard removal. It doesn't have any. It just doesn't. And Wild, you have Naturalize and Mulch, and I guess Poison Seeds if you want to count that. That's it. And now we have Incarceration, but dormant for 3 turns does relegate a minion useless for quite a while. You see with like the Wild Seed card, the one that gives you a 3 mana weapon or the 3 attack weapon, takes a while to come into play. But overall, I don't think it's terrible. I think it's a fringe card, maybe in certain decks where you really want to isolate a minion, but only that. I think it's more creative by than anything, so I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in standard Wild, but it is kind of hard removal for Druid. How about that? They kind of got it. Anyways, we'll have the Mage and Shaman cards later today to review, and we'll have all the mini set stuff and yeah, it's been a fun ride. So hopefully you guys will be there for the last video. If you enjoyed this one, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.